For me to knock on doors and try to make people at least listen to our music and say our music is garbage, and then to see that because of what I did, there's collabs with young kids from my country, with Drake and rappers from the States. How do you think I'm gonna feel about that?
Yeah.
That meant that every time I knocked on that door, it was worth it.
What's going on, guys? Speedy Mormon here from Complex, and today I'm joined by an artist whose career has spanned multiple decades. He is a certified legend. Nicky Jam is in the building. Nicky Jam, what's up, man? How are you?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, bro. First and foremost, it's been many, many years that you've been in this game. How fortunate do you feel to have kind of lived this test of time?
I mean, you know, I've been in this game for 25 years, so for me, it's a blessing to see that. Where is that right now? I mean, I was one of the guys knocking on doors in a radio station for people to play our music and to see what's going on, to see that we in movies and breaking records and views and all these things. For me is incredible to see it.
For sure, you're a guy who's lived multiple places, but let's go way back to the beginning. What can you tell me about Lawrence, Massachusetts?
Lawrence, Massachusetts, a small city. You know what I'm saying? Mostly when I was growing up, there was a lot of Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. Mm-hmm. My mom's Dominican, my dad's Puerto Rican. A lot of people could say it's really ghetto, because there's a lot of, a lot of bad things going on in Lawrence, but there's a lot of good things as well. There was a lot of Irish people when I was growing up in Lawrence, and they're not there anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's just Dominicans and Puerto Ricans.
They say there's something like 80% of the population there is Latino.
Yeah,
right now.
I believe that. I was seeing it when I was growing up. I mean, I left Lawrence when I was 10 years old. Mm-hmm. And it was hard for us, you know what I'm saying, because there wasn't a lot of work and all that, and a lot of Puerto Ricans and Dominicans were going towards drugs and towards that route, Mm-hmm. And it was kind of crazy, so I grew up in that environment,
What can you tell me about your days bagging at a supermarket?
Well, that was in Puerto Rico when I got there when I was 10 years old. My dad was still struggling with drugs, and he didn't have it was kind of hard for him to get a job. So he worked in construction and he got whatever he can. So I realized that if I was packing groceries, I could make at least $20 a day. They would give me quarters, $1.
Like in tips?
In tips, yeah.
Okay.
They would give me tips. I was not supposed to pack there, but pack groceries there. But the guy from there, he hooked me up. The manager would let me pack groceries there. And with that, I would buy, milk, bread, ham, cheese, and just bring food every day for the house. You know what I'm saying? I would freestyle every time I was packing groceries. I would freestyle, freestyle with every item I was packing, and I became kind of like a celebrity in the supermarket. And everybody was like, yo, there's this kid on aisle 13. He be rapping every time he's, in those days, you won't see a 10-year-old, 11-year-old kid rapping.
Right. Yeah.
I'm talking about 92. Probably the only ones that were doing it was Criss Cross. And so I was Spanish, and I lived in Puerto Rico. That was something that everybody was crazy about, seeing this little kid rhyming and rapping. And that's where I got discovered.
So you said that you became kind of like a local celebrity where everyone's like, yo, there's this kid on aisle 13. Was your aisle line mad long and everybody else's was short because people just wanted to see you, or was it like equally distributed?
You could say a little bit longer, my aisle, and you could say that everybody would just people from other aisles would just stare at my aisle
just
and
like
start to see what I was
around.
doing, yeah.
I feel like that's a blessing and a curse though, because I've worked at a supermarket, and the longer the line is, that just means more groceries that you have to
Of course,
bag.
But it was more tips for me.
Oh, okay,
You know what I'm saying?
okay.
So I needed those tips, and I needed to bring that bread home, but some days I would just stay playing arcades, and those $20 would
Go quick, right?
go quick in arcades, and my dad be like, what you do, man?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
You kind of mentioned it, but you said back at that era, maybe it was only Criss Cross in terms of like young artists that were kind of running it. It seems as if now the game has like artists skewing younger and younger, right? There's kids that are becoming
I'm seeing
sensations.
that.
Did
I'm learning that with
that?
my son. Yeah, my son, because my son's 14 years old, and he be showing me rappers every day.
That are his age probably,
His age, and they got good songs.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
Man, it's crazy, man. But back in the days, it you won't see 13-year-old kids rhyming and rapping and stuff like that. It's just getting crazier and every day and better every day.
Did you imagine that, you know, you would kind of be a pioneer to that movement of being an artist so young, being able to make music on a high level?
Never. I mean, it's crazy because in Puerto Rico there was only another kid, rest in peace. His name was, I think it was Dr. J was his name. He died in a car accident. He was also my age and he had an album out. So it was only like 2 rappers in Puerto Rico that was 12 years old and 11 that was doing that type of music. And I remember I went to his show and there was these guys in the projects and they were like, yo, I got this kid for you. And we did a battle, me and him. People was paying money to see who was
like
better.
Betting on it?
He seen he was better. I kind of messed him up because I was bilingual, so I could rap in Spanish and English. So automatically, when I switched it to English, I made
the game down.
I made him look bad. Yeah, I made him look bad. But you know, it was crazy to see kids doing it back in the day. Today, you see it a lot.
You collabed with Daddy Yankee at a very young age, and you guys have obviously had such a long relationship. What can you tell me about kind of meeting him for the first time? Do you remember that interaction way back when?
1993, I think, there was this mixtape called Playero 37. It was like the biggest mixtape in the street, and there was like more than, you could say 16 or 17 rappers on it. And Daddy Yankee was a star. He was the king of mixtapes. Every time a volume was gonna come out, everybody was crazy about listening to what Yankee was gonna do. So I was a big fan of Daddy Yankee. Like the only guy I would listen to was him, you know. So one day I was at a show and I told the guy that I wanted to meet Daddy Yankee and I know he was gonna perform, and they took me to him and he knew who I was because of my album.
And he was cool when you met him for that first time at that.
He was really
concert?
cool. He was like, I know who you are. I like what you do, and I was starstruck. I couldn't believe. You know, and I said, one of these days I'm gonna sing with you. One of these days I'm gonna do something with you. He was like, yeah, man, let's do it. And then I hit a song called Descontrol. It was like the biggest song, and I think it was Playero 40, volume 41, and it became one of the biggest songs in Puerto Rico. And then I met him, and he was like, yo, you did it, bro. You got a big ass hit, and he was like, I'm ready to work with you. I'm like, all right, let's do it.
You eventually wound up signing with Daddy Yankee at some point.
I signed with him. I remember he gave me like $5,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I heard you say in an interview, he gave you a $5,000 advance.
Yeah, he gave me $5,000 because he opened a record label called El Cartel Records. We started doing music together. We did a lot of hits, man. A lot of hits in the streets.
Do you remember what you did with that $5,000 check?
I remember Yankee had clothes. He had good clothes because he was doing music before me, and he was already winning money. So I just got clothes, man. I needed that.
Just cash down on
obviously, I helped my dad as always since I was doing it since I was a kid. But I just bought me some clothes because I knew it was a uniform to work. You know what I'm saying? And when you swagged out, they respect you more.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did.
For sure. As the story goes, you kind of rose and then you went through like a difficult time period. Can you kind of just tell us about that time?
Well, you know, when I was like around 15, I started doing drugs. I started doing cocaine. And I was getting all this fame because of the music and doing all these shows and stuff. By the time I was 20, I was in my peak, but I was really crazy on drugs. So I was really irresponsible. I wasn't going to shows. I wasn't going to TV shows, and there was a problem with me everywhere. Like, yo, Nicky Jam didn't show up. Nicky Jam had a fight in this show. You know, a whole bunch of stuff. And you know, Yankee was just trying to, like, you know, let me know that if I don't fix my stuff together and get my shit together, you know what I'm saying, it was gonna be a problem for us, and we was gonna be able to work together. So I got better, and I stopped drugs for a little bit, and then we came out with big hits, and then I became like my own artist. Daddy Yankee was doing his own music, and that's when I went crazy, because I didn't have that guidance. I didn't have Yankee there with me, you know what I'm saying, because he was like my big brother, but it was all my fault, you know. And then I really got crazy, you know what I'm saying. I really got crazy. I caught a case. I did 3 years in jail, and I started doing more drugs in jail. more drugs in jail, and I was crazier in jail. And then when I came out, 3 years looked like it was 20 years.
Yeah.
The whole game changed. Everybody was dressing different. The music was different. The technology was different. Like, it felt like 20 years went by, and nobody wanted to work with me because of my reputation and all the bad things I did in the streets and all that. So I was just trying to make it. You know, I was trying to do shows. I gained so much weight. I was just depressed. I didn't care about anything. My soul was dead because I was in jail. You know, all the friends that I had that said they were my friends, they all disappeared.
When you think back to this time period, though, was there a moment that you felt at your lowest, like that you felt like you had bottomed out?
Oh my God, I mean, inside a cell, you know what I'm saying? I don't really think inside a cell. I think when I came out and I was a guy that was driving in one moment a Mercedes, and then I was driving a beat up car, and the car like had motor problems. I had to get out the car to push it, and people saw me having all this money and success and then struggling to get a car to, you know what I'm saying, to run. That was embarrassing for me, you know what I'm saying? And all these stuff will come out in the local news in Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying? Nicky Jam's car, Nicky didn't have money to do this. Nicky didn't have money to pay the rent. Nicky didn't have money it was embarrassment and embarrassment. It was insane. Like, it became a moment that even my sister, I got a car under my sister's name.
Mm-hmm. I know this story.
Yeah, and I had to go to the airport because I wanted to go do a show in Colombia. So I was on my car. I was like hitting 70 on a freeway, and this car was trying to stop me, but I didn't see no marks like it was police or nothing. So I kept going. All of a sudden, I see helicopters and everything, and I started going all around, and the police was chasing me. I got inside a mall. Then when I came out, they all got me out. They got me out of the car. They hit me everywhere. They broke my wrist. And the thing is, the car owed already like 6 months because I didn't have money to pay the car. And so they thought the car was stolen. So I had to go to Colombia to do this show, and the guy who I had to do the show in Colombia was kind of like a very a guy you don't want to lose a show with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be wrong with this guy. And for some reason they gave me like a court date that I had to go. I ran to the Colombian place where they had my passport so I could get a visa. The place was closed. And then when I go outside, there was the lady waiting for me with the passport. And I hugged her, I got the passport, and everybody knew what happened to me because it was all over the news. So people just, like laughing about me and just making fun of me and asking me what happened to me and all that. I ran to the airport, and Sia and Lennox was there. I don't know if you know them. And he bought me the ticket because I lost the flight. He bought me the ticket.
Did you ask him to, or he just did it?
Nah, he saw my face. He saw I was worried, and automatically he's like, yo, Nicky, I got you. And he bought me a first class ticket. He got me next to him.
That's love.
Yeah, and I said, yo, bro, as soon as I touch Colombia and I make some money, I'm gonna pay you back this ticket. I did the show, and I paid him, obviously, his money. That's where I went to Colombia, and I realized that people love me incredibly over there. Like, they called my old songs, what we would call in Puerto Rico old songs, they would call them classics. And they said I was a legend. I'm weighing almost 270. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of life. And even to get to Colombia was a problem. And these people are telling me I'm a legend, and they telling me that my songs are incredible and all that. I was already feeling better when I was in Colombia.
Right.
I went to do a show where there was like more than, it was like, I don't know, like probably like 1,000 people. And there was like 5 singers that was performing with me that night. They were hot, they were in their best moment. And I'm over here saying, man, when I go on stage, people are gonna laugh at me. You know what I'm saying? I haven't had a hit like in 10 or 15 years, like, I don't know what am I gonna do here. When they all did this show, they had me for last. I'm like, why you guys got me for last? I should be first.
You was the headliner.
You know what I'm saying? When I get on stage, the people were screaming like it was. I thought it was a bigger singer in the back. I'm looking at why are these people screaming like that? obviously these people saw me and they knew I was one of the pioneers of reggaeton, so they had me as an icon. So when I got on stage, I started singing the songs and they gave me all love. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna stay in this country, man. This country is incredible and they love me. And I did like 6 or 7 shows that weekend. And that's why I stayed in Colombia. I was given a second chance as soon as I left the drugs.
Right.
Because I told God, I was like, every time I saw these reggaeton artists being up there, I like, God, I feel that I got more talent than a lot of these guys, man. Why am I not here? I know you probably want me to like be on church and do the right thing, but I need to show the world who Nicky Jam really is.
Yeah.
And I felt that he told me, bro, you gotta stop drugs, man. You stop drugs and
you good.
I'm gonna give you what you want, exactly what happened. All you need in life to be a better human being is love. Mm-hmm. You got love and you could conquer the world. You got love and you could do anything. And I didn't feel that love in Puerto Rico. I'm not saying that I didn't deserve it, because I did a lot of bad things. Mm-hmm. So I respect my country. I love my country. And Puerto Rico gave me a lot. And you could say Puerto Rico almost gave me everything to be who I am today. And I'm proud of being Puerto Rican 100%. But sometimes you have to leave your country to find yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to leave your comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes even your country needs you to leave, mm-hmm. so you can come back and be a better person. So it's a weird way of saying it, but that was my story.
Medellin welcomed you with open arms, as did the people there and the artists there and stuff like that. If not for Medellin welcoming you, do you ever imagine where Nicky Jam would be today?
I don't know. I really don't know. There's a lot of countries that gave me love, but what Medellin gave me and Colombia gave me, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here today.
You don't think so?
I don't think I would have been here today.
Do you think that there was a legitimate chance that you could have died?
Yeah, of course. On the drugs? Yeah, definitely. I mean, the reason why I stopped drugs is because I had a problem in my brain. And I had mobility problems. I couldn't move my hands. I couldn't talk right. And it was something with the drugs affecting my brain. So if I kept doing drugs, I was gonna die. I mean, the doctor told me, if you keep doing drugs, you die.
This may be a weird question, but it seems like you had so much success, and success then brought you a lot of negative things later in life. As you were kind of coming up again the second time, did you ever feel hesitant to reach success again because you know what happened the first time?
Definitely. If my manager understood what I'm saying, because he speaks Spanish, one of the things I told him was, I just want to work. I don't want to be big again. And he would be so mad. And like, what do you mean? Like, no, because I like the life that I live now. I'm scared of success because I think success is going to take me to drugs and that darkness and all that. So I was really scared about that. So, but every time I kept working, I kept going up, kept blowing up, and I'm like, okay, I think I could go up a little bit more. And so he was smart, because he took me step by step. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, my manager was like, just do this now.
Just a
what do you
more.
think if we do this now? And I'm like, all right. What do you think if we do this now? Like, all right.
And before you knew it, you were.
Before I knew it, he was like, bro, you're the top of the world now. You wanna establish everything here in the top of the world. Like, bro, how you got me up here? Like, bro, you did it. You know what I'm saying? And,
right.
I mean, it was a teamwork, you know? My manager is 50% of my success. He's a very smart man. He made me not only into a good artist, he's my father figure, and he made me a good businessman. You know, I'm good in business because I'm a risk taker, you know, but he made me into a better businessman, and that's why Nicky Jam brand is so good. Mm-hmm. That's why Nicky Jam brand has a watch in Hublot and is an ambassador. That's why Nicky Jam is doing his 3rd movie in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. That's why Nicky Jam did the World Cup in Russia, because it's a team, it's a machine. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was alone, I could have done all this, you know? You
took, obviously, a big time off while you were going through what you were doing, but then you dropped an album in Phoenix. It was your first studio album in 10 years, and it debuted at #1 on the Billboard Top Latin Albums. How did that feel to have taken so much time off and then drop an album that goes #1?
And that time, a lot of things were happening so much. I was doing a movie with Vin Diesel, doing the Triple X movie.
Yeah.
I got my Grammy. so much things were happening that I didn't even know. I was just blessed. I felt blessed. I felt happy. I felt happy that my dad could tell me, I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the same year my album went #1, my song was 28 weeks #1 on the billboards. 28 weeks.
It's more than half a year.
You know what I'm saying? And I was doing movies and it was too much. So I didn't know how to deal with all that. I was just happy, you know?
Yeah, happy that you were back.
Happy that I was back and happy that people liked what I was doing. And you know, the struggle that I went, cause y'all don't know, but in Colombia, I worked a lot.
When you say you worked, what do you mean?
I'm talking about I got on vans and drove 6-7 hours in school vans to do shows in these cities and little towns that you will never imagine. Towns that you can't get there by plane, you know, just to pay the rent and make my money. So I started from the bottom in Colombia. Like I was a national singer just from Colombia. Being a Puerto Rican singer that had all this success, I went to another country and I started from the bottom. Yes, I'm not gonna lie, I did have a lot of classic songs that would make me do shows and do good shows because people love my old songs. I have a lot of classics like Yo No Soy Tu Marido, Me Voy Pa'l Party, all these songs that made my shows a lot better. But like, for me to do all these shows and you know, and go, I used to go to private schools just to do little shows for private schools for free, so people want to know who I was. Again, imagine me being on the height of my career and then going to private schools, you know, doing shows for 15, 14-year-old girls. You know, I'm just trying. I was doing it again.
Right, building that fan base up from the ground
building
up.
from again. So to see me getting all the success, it paid off. You know.
For sure. So you then made your acting debut in the XXX film with Vin Diesel, and since then you've been in. You have your own series on Netflix, which is about your life, and then obviously most recently you were in Bad Boys. Kind of talk to me about Nicky Jam, the actor.
Nicky Jam, the actor, is for me, acting is a challenge. You know, it's something new in my life, so I enjoy it a lot. I always liked acting. When I was in school, I did theater, and it was something that I knew I always wanted, but it was something that you know, when you say you want to do something, but if you say it, people think you're crazy. Acting was one of those, you know, like, yeah, I'm gonna do acting too, because I think I'm good. And people look at me like really? You like that? Like, I don't know, for some reason people like, when they ask me about acting, like, it's like they think it's something that, like, why would you like that? Like, what do you mean? It's entertainment, you know?
Right.
It's in the business. It's something that, I mean, you're playing to be somebody you're not. It's cool. So when I got every time I had videos, I would act a little bit in my videos. And that was like my training to be an actor every day. So when I came to Bad Boys, I was already ready. Like these people, like, if it was cut, you know what I'm saying? It was because somebody else messed up.
Right, but not
it
because
wasn't
Nicky
me.
Jam messed up.
I was ready, you know what I'm saying? I would go to the director like, what? The director would be like, I love it. He was from Morocco. It's like, I love it, nice, I love it. And I'm like, really? Like, just like that? Like, so I was really ready. So acting is something that I like, and it makes me, everything that's new is good, you know, and I've been doing music for 25 years. Acting is something new.
Right.
You know,
A
so
new
I
challenge.
like that I'm going step by step, you know, baby steps.
I feel like in our culture, at least, like hip hop artists make cameos in movies
Every
all
day.
the time. So what do you think it meant, not only for you, but for the culture to have a Latin artist in such a big movie franchise?
I was kind of thinking that people was gonna see it normal. You know what I'm saying?
Like, oh, it's Nicky Jam, he's a celebrity.
Because
He's
they seeing how all the things that we're doing. They're like, yeah, well, I mean, come on, you got Grammys, you got this, you got that. You did the World Cup, you already did a movie. But no, I felt the love this time. Like, I felt people going crazy. Everybody congratulated me and telling me, yo, Nicky, you killed it. We're happy that you're in Bad Boys, and we're happy that you got a good part in Bad Boys.
Right, it wasn't just a cameo. Like, you were a significant role in the film.
Exactly.
I thought you were just gonna be like making an appearance in it, but you were really like one of the main villains in the film.
I'm gonna be real, I thought too until I saw I was gonna be in Atlanta a whole month.
You were like, oh shit.
And I'm like, okay, this got to be good.
Right.
They're not gonna keep me here for a whole month. I'm just gonna do a cameo. I've done cameos. It's just one day.
Right.
So nah, I did a lot of badass things in this movie. I mean, you saw.
I see you was hanging from the helicopter.
I was shooting. I was like doing all the cool stuff that you want to do in a movie.
You were in the club and you jumped off the balcony
off the balcony, like all this stuff that I was like, these people don't know I'm almost 40 years old.
Right. When you think about the catalog of Nicky Jam wins, where does this rank amongst some of the biggest things that you've done in your career?
You mean this?
Yeah,
movie?
being in Bad Boy, yeah.
Oh.
Is that towards the top?
It has to be the top. It has to be one of the tops. I mean, big moments in my life, you know, World Cup, doing the World Cup with Will Smith, the Bad Boys, my first Grammy, and my first #1 on the Billboard charts. The first #1 on the Billboard charts made me cry because it was the first #1 after almost 15, 16
Right.
years. But the movie just gave me joy, man. Just gave me happiness.
For sure. In my preparation for this interview, I watched a bunch of interviews, and just by coincidence, I noticed that you'd be hard-pressed to find Nicky Jam wearing a color other than black. Is this just a coincidence? Is black the color that you wear? I feel like I always see you in a black shirt.
Yeah.
All the time.
Well, you know, the thing is, at first, it was the color that made me feel better because, you know, I was losing weight, and you know that black makes you always look good, it makes you look skinnier and stuff like that. I'm gonna be real with you because I love being honest. But I saw people that was writing on Instagram like, Nicky wears black, Nicky was black, and it became a Nicky Jam thing.
Also, people, this is a thing. I didn't know that this was a thing.
It was just
people know that Nicky Jam wears black.
Yeah, like automatic. They would do like beams, like they would put like, you know when you hang clothes outside, they would put a lot of black shirts.
It would just be mad black.
And it'd be like Nicky Jam's house. And people would tag me a black house, and they would say Nicky Jam's house. They would see a whole bunch of black dogs. It was like Nicky Jam dog. So for me, it became just me, and I just went with it.
I knew that I noticed at least that the black shirts or the black tops were a thing, but I guess people did notice about the black hats because I read in a Billboard article that you own something like 300 black fitteds and snapbacks. Is this true?
I mean, I give a lot away, but I could say T-shirts is what I own a lot. Like I have, oh my God, I have like 2 closets of T-shirts. Like I have 5 rooms in my house, and you could find black T-shirts everywhere.
It's just full of black T.
They ready, and I wear a fresh one for everything. And the ones I don't use, I give them away to people that need it. But I wear a fresh shirt just to like, cause I like it perfect. You know, I don't like washing shirts cause I feel that when you wash them, they shrink.
And
they look
sometimes
weird.
they look great. Like
they lose the
black dials down.
So I just wear them fresh.
It's a fresh black tee.
Everything. I'm going to play basketball, fresh T-shirt to play basketball.
Word.
Everything. So yeah.
Are you good in basketball?
I'm getting better. My girl played in high school.
Okay.
And
she be putting you on games?
She showed me how to play a lot better. She's right there.
Do you play competitively at all? Like, do you go play pickup or do you just go shoot around?
I play with the boys. You know, play with the boys. I love basketball. I love basketball like I'm a good basketball player.
As if you was nice in basketball.
Yeah, and I'm not really that nice, but you'll love playing with me though. I bring good energy.
If someone had to put the bread up between you and your girl in basketball, who would win?
Nah, my girl gonna whoop my ass.
She said she would smoke you.
She would whoop my ass.
She would?
Oh, I mean, come on, man. She did that for life. She's an athlete, you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
I'm a singer, I'm a rapper, but you give her that mic, I'm gonna whoop her ass.
Nicky Jam's good at a lot of things, but basketball is not one of them, clearly.
No, I'm good at basketball. I'm
But you're
just not better than my girl.
Okay, fair enough. So she
What
might
do
be
you think?
real.
Am I doing good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing real good.
Okay, good. I'm curious as to what you feel about the way the music industry is trending now in terms of American artists, particularly hip hop artists, collaborating with Latin artists. You see it all the time. How do you feel about this trend?
I think it's beautiful. It's nice to see how American people from the American world doing music with Spanish world. You know, I enjoy it. I just hope that they don't do it just for numbers.
It seems as if that's the case,
You
in
know?
my opinion.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking what Nicky Jam
Yeah, I just hope it doesn't. It's just not that. I hope it's just because it's organic. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I'm worried about. I don't mind it. If you call me because you want to do something for numbers, I'm down. You know what I'm saying? But if I call you, are you ready?
Right, would it go both ways? So my thing is, I feel like the one thing about Latin artists and particularly Latin fans is that they're incredibly loyal. And so you look at a Latin artist streaming numbers or YouTube numbers and they're well into the hundreds of millions, sometimes the billions. So for me, if I was a hip hop artist, I would see that as a cheat code. Like, oh shit, if I want to get a lot of views or a lot of streams, let me just hit up Nicky Jam, let me just hit up Ozuna or Unwell and put a verse down and boom, now I got a hit.
I mean, the end of the day, man, I don't want to downgrade my people, but you know, we gotta be real, like American artists are American artists and they do have a bigger platform. You know what I'm saying?
But their numbers aren't always as high as a lot of the Latin artists, especially on YouTube.
No, I agree with you, but I think we both need each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't dare say something like American singers need Spanish singers. They don't really need us that much, bro. They done pretty good without us.
Sure, but if they want to expand and touch other markets, there's really only one way to go.
Yeah.
And that's collaborating with people like you.
Of course, and I'm down with it. And like I said, I hope it's just not that. I hope it's, you know, I hope it becomes something that they give us our respect too.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Just like we give them their respect.
When you see an artist like Drake collaborating with Bad Bunny and making a smash hit, and Drake is speaking Spanish on the record, or you see Justin Bieber doing a song with Luis Fonsi and that becomes a smash and he's singing Spanish, does that make you feel any type of way, whether good or bad?
I think good. Everything is good. Even if it's just something that's gonna happen in the moment, it's good. It puts us on the map, at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like with Drake, we're reaching people that we couldn't reach.
That you wouldn't have reached otherwise.
If it wasn't otherwise. So that's what I'm trying to say. So, you know, we need it.
You're welcome. You're open to it. You're welcome.
Yeah, man, it's good. I mean, how I'm not gonna be happy to see a rapper like Drake working with somebody from my small island in Puerto Rico.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And giving them props. I'm proud of that.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I got my chest up. You know what I'm saying? My pride is like, yeah. And I feel that I did that too, because you gotta understand, I'm one of the architects of this movie. So for me to knock on doors and try to make people at least listen to our music and say our music is garbage, and then to see that because of what I did, there's collabs with young kids from my country, with Drake and rappers from the States. How do you think I'm gonna feel about that?
Yeah.
That meant that every time I knocked on that door, it was worth it. You know, that means I bust my ass for this music and it's doing good, so
Right.
it was worth it.
You walk so that a lot of other people can run. Do you feel as if you kind of...
Me and Daddy Yankee,
Right.
and a whole bunch of other artists
people
that today are probably not active in the music industry, but they did a lot. I can't mention them all because there were a lot.
Right, but because of the work and the legwork that you and a lot of other people put in, some of the younger artists now are able to collaborate with such big mainstream artists here in America.
Yeah, of course. I wasn't really a fan of that because I was always trying to like keep it like, my mentality was like, our people listen to their music, but you ain't gonna see no Moreno bumping in his car some reggaeton music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was my mentality. Like, obviously it changed. Like, they probably could hear one song, you know what I'm saying? But you're not gonna
Listen to the whole album.
the whole album of reggaeton, you know what I'm saying? But you're gonna see a Spanish dude listening to hip-hop,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
That was my mentality, but obviously it changed with time.
For sure. You've had such an illustrious career. We've seen, you know, the ups and the downs. When you think about your career at large, how much longer do you see yourself actually making music? I mean, it seems as if you have such a long shelf life and you could keep going forever. But do you have a cap on this? Do you have an idea of when you like to stop making music?
Well, that's why I'm focusing so much in acting, because I want to do other stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna sing forever, you know? I'll probably not be working to maintain a lifestyle anymore, because I'm capitalizing. But music is something that I see me doing forever, so I'm gonna do music until I die, you know? Retired? Singers don't retire. That's a lie. We always say we're gonna retire. Tell me what singer really retired. Like, you could probably name like one.
I can think of so many artists that said they were gonna retire and then
They haven't retired.
The one artist that comes to mind right now that did retire is Rihanna. People have been waiting for that album. She ain't dropped a song in a full year.
I could say Rihanna, but that's in the hip hop world and R&B world. But let's say like you know, there's a band called Journey.
Yeah, I know Journey.
The guy from Journey, he really retired.
Yeah?
Yeah, he retired for 20 years. Like,
Right.
That's like the only one or two guys you could say.
That can-
I see Rihanna coming out anytime.
I would love that.
You know,
And a lot
I
of
don't
people want
think
that.
Rihanna's gonna really retire. Like, I can't. She'll probably come out soon. You know.
Do you see any bits of yourself in some of the younger Latin artists today?
Ozuna probably.
What qualities?
Not his voice.
Right.
But the way he does music, the way he's worked his brand, I think, you know, has a little mix of Nicky Jam. I see it in a good way.
Word. My last question, I read in an article that you felt at some point that you would kind of shift the music that you're making because the quote was something like, to be on the right path, I can't be singing this music. Do you ever feel like you'd shift music and maybe start making gospel music or something like that? Is that what you meant in that quote? Or
I meant, if you want to be in, spiritual wise, with God, doing the right thing, on the Bible, the music that I sing is not the best music. So if I want to go to the right path, that's the path of God, I would have to stop a lot of the lyrics that I'm singing. That's what I meant.
do you see Nicky Jam ever doing that?
Whatever God tells me. If I feel that God wants me to stop all this and just be his voice, I'll definitely do it.
So when God told you stop doing drugs, you stopped.
Yeah.
And great things happened. If God was to tell you, yo, it's time.
I mean, he gave me what I wanted. I gotta give him what he wants.
So eventually, will there be a time where Nicky Jam's music stops in that way?
Whenever God tells me.
Word.